Okay, I don't care what goes wrong on this take. This is the one I'm using. So if my eye starts twitching like I'm having a seizure, I'm not. Anyway, I know it's been a while since I posted. We haven't done a whole lot of writing, and honestly, the writing content was getting kind of dull because we just keep going to the same place over and over. Did make a purchase, bought another side by side, filmed some stuff, and then Henry's laptop or desktop took a crap, so we weren't able to upload any of the footage using the 360 cam that I did. As far as like, I don't know, that's what I'm looking for here. Like, introduce it to the channel, I guess is what I was trying to say. So you're going to see a picture of it when we roll into the video. But that brings me to the topic of the day, and that is this project that I decided to film kind of last minute. So I'm building a very large pole barn with a deck on top, is essentially what I'm building. I am not a professional carpenter, never claimed to be. I'm going to butcher the terminology. I'm going to butcher probably some of the methods. I think I did the foundation and the footers right for the most part, but so I didn't film anything for the first several hours of building this. And then it dawned on me that maybe I should film. And that way, if it turns out to be something kind of cool that y'all would like, and I apologize for the wind noise, I don't have a studio. So you got wind and chickens, and my freaking eye twitching like I'm seizing out. Wow, ADHD right there on display. So anyway, I didn't do a whole lot of filming. I took some pictures just for personal use, or personal record, I guess. Just showing before and after, because where this spot is that I'm standing used to be a swimming pool. The pool ran its life, about 5 years out of it, above ground pool. And I was wondering what to do with the space. Well, I bought another side-by-side, and as many of y'all know, I got new neighbors in the backyard, camper over here. And one thing you may or may not know about Henry is he likes to buy stuff. So we need space to put stuff. Everything's getting left out in the yard, under tarps and stuff like that. So I'm going to roll into some pictures that I took. I'll kind of illustrate what's going on, narrate through, and then when I finally did decide to start filming, we'll just pick up there. And if you like the content, it's not great, by no means. It was all afterthought. So going forward, I will do a better job of filming, and I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. So if you like it, stay tuned. Thanks. So this is where I was just standing, where the pool was, and pulled the pool out and put the side-by-side in to kind of get some size reference to how big I needed to make it. Next picture here, I think you're going to see, yep, right there's the new addition. We'll get into that later. My neighbor was kind enough to come over with this auger and punch some holes for us, so we didn't have to dig all this up by hand. We poured, we dug down about 42 inches, I think, and set the post in on concrete block, and then poured around them, which ended up being a job, because we were out of square a few times, so everything took a little longer than it should have. My dog thinking about sinking his teeth into the auger. Fortunately, he did not, and we'll roll from there. This guy right here has been a huge help today. It only took us, 12 tries to get it squared? Generous, maybe 14. We only had to dig this one up, all the concrete out, and widen the hole. It sucked, but anyway, it's squared. That's the hardest part. Well, we're within a ½ inch of square. This has been, you're looking at about 5 hours of labor to get to this point where these four corners are in. And here you have my OSHA approved homemade scaffolding. Super safe. Some more pictures. As I was going along the building process, I decided to inlay a lot of the supports, pouring footers for the internal beams. Gonna have 4x6 supports down the middle, and then try to leave 10-foot open on each side. And here just showing some of the floor joists going up for the first time. And we got a bow in the band board maybe that we're gonna have to pull out with some X bracing. So I was just showing that. And I think we're ready to roll. Putting the floor joist in for the deck portion up top. And then we'll be making the tie-in from the front half of the structure to the back half.
I can't wait to see it.
All right, we got all the floor joists hung that I have on hand. I gotta go back and I'm gonna add one on each side of the center beam. I don't need to add two there, but it is the middle of the deck, so just gonna overkill it. Put two more 2x10s in the middle. And because this gap ended up being 22 inches on center, I'm gonna go back and add one in the middle here, and same on that end over there. But it is one step closer to actually being a deck. We're going to take TPO. Once all the floor joists are up, we're going to take TPO and drape it across the entire thing on top of the floor joist and just let it droop between joists and have a slight slope going this way. And then the middle roof is going to run from there to underneath this part of the deck. So the TPO will carry the water onto the metal roof and run it out. And that was the easiest way that we could come up with to have both halves of it be waterproof. This will be like 99% waterproof, but it'll be good enough. It is no fun notching these posts. No. At least it's 2x8s instead of 2x10s. We're putting 2x8s on the outside perimeter of the roof. Got that one done, then we can put this 20-footer back up and then figure out our angle. Well, actually our angle's already determined now to go from here to there. And the biggest helper that we have in this whole project are these two. You're a ton of help, aren't you, buddy? Aren't you? Yeah. But by the way, I've had a lot of people asking about you since the incident with the sled and the curb on YouTube.
Oh, really?
No, actually, I'm just kidding. Nobody's asked about you, but you are doing okay.
Yeah, my hip feels better.
Yeah,
I can walk now, so
okay.
It's been a hard progress.
All right. Side note, I was going to show everybody this little project that Henry, he just got, I think this is an 86 Honda, is it a 70? Can't remember what this thing's, the size of it is, but little 5-speed, 4-stroke. He's working on that, and then he also last week picked this up, little 70. I think this is also an 86. He's bringing more toys home, and we're having to get on this project, so we got somewhere to park everything, get it out of the weather. So this project started about 4 months ago. And this will be the first video that I posted on it just because it's been slow going. We got the post set, and then it was a few weeks later that we got the outside boards set, and then a few weeks later we got a couple of floor joists put up, and then a few weeks later we got the rest of them today put up. And so yeah, it's probably be like a 3-part video. I feel like I should mention, so I don't get it in the comments, we are going to add center support. So I've got a footer port here. It's about 4 foot deep. And we're going to be setting one of these 4x6s on this footer to catch the middle of this run, because this is a 20-foot run. So, and we're going to be adding, let me flip you around. I probably said this too in another clip from a couple of months ago. We're going to be adding more of this corner bracing. I don't like the idea that it's not supported anywhere in the middle space, because this is essentially a 16 by 20 space with nothing in the middle. But we can brace off of this beam and come out and catch the center of the roof, and then do the same thing off of when this beam gets up. We can come off at a 45 and catch. So what is that, like cantilever something? I don't know. I'm sure I butchered a ton of the terminology on this. I may have said before is we've got this section here where it bowed in, but I got a feeling, because it's reflected on this side, what we're probably going to do is some X bracing. I'll probably take some 2x6s and catch the middle and cross brace over to the middle on this side, and then do the same thing to over there and force it to square up. We'll X brace this in the next video. Just wanted to clarify a couple of things so y'all don't think I'm overlooking something. And if I am overlooking something, tell me. This is by far the biggest thing I've ever built. Alright, well, it's been a hot day, long day. Shout out to Ian for the help, because that was tremendous. It's a little different than the normal content I put on the channel, but if you like it, leave a thumbs up, maybe. And this will be part 1, and this will probably drag out for at least another couple of months before I get it done. It's just an expensive thing, and I'm recovering from a back injury, so I move a little bit slower than normal, and I'm having to rely on help that I have to work around their schedules. So yeah, we'll bring a part 2 when we start to frame in for the roof. Lighting, I'm gonna have electrical out here. Got some cool lighting ideas for up on top of the deck, and I'll show you the way the handrail, well actually, you know what, I'm not gonna show you right now. The handrail is going to be a standard 2x6 cap, but we're going to incorporate some 3/4 inch EMT. I may have already said something about that in one of the other clips from like 2 or 3 months ago. Don't remember. I'll find out when I go to edit. So if you see this, then I didn't say anything, and I'm saying it now. See you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.